Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Love and Dating Podcast. I'm your host, Niyuti Srivastav, and today we are tackling a question that hits at the heart of many of our dating lives. Are you falling for love or just physical or sexual desire? Now I know what you're probably thinking. Niyuti, what's the difference? Isn't love just love? Doesn't it always start with that intense physical attraction? Well, in today's episode, we are going to dive into this very thing and break down how to tell if your feelings are more about desire than something deeper. Let me be very clear. Physical attraction and sexual chemistry can be part of love. But when it's the only thing you're feeling and everything else feels superficial, that's when you have got to ask yourself the tough question. Is this real love, or is it just about getting your physical needs met? By the end of today's episode, I want you to have a clear understanding of the difference between the love and lust, and how to ensure you are building meaningful connections, not just getting lost in the excitement of a heated moment. But before we dive in, I want to share a quick story with you, one that might hit home for many of you listening today. Let me tell you a story of one of my clients. Let's call him Gaurav. Gaurav was your typical guy, good looking, confident, and always a magnet for attention. He was a kind of guy who could charm his way into any conversation and make women laugh. But when it came to serious relationships, that was a different story. Gaurav had recently started dating someone. Let's call her Megha. From the get-go, the chemistry between them was undeniable. I mean, they had that connection. You know, the one where everything just feels right from the moment you meet someone. And when they kissed, it was like fireworks. Intense, passionate, electric. Gaurav was convinced that this was love. He thought to himself, this is it. I have finally found someone I can see a future with. But here is the catch. After a few weeks of spending time together, Gaurav realized that when they were alone together, the conversation was always about how they felt in the moment, and the moment often ended up being physically intense. They were constantly making out, getting closer, having sex. Every time Gaurav and Megha spent time together, he was thinking more about the next physical encounter than actually getting to know her on a deeper level. It wasn't that Gaurav didn't like Megha. He really did. She was smart, funny, and kind. But when he started to step back and evaluate the relationship, he realized something unsettling. He wasn't really thinking about a future with her, or about their shared values, or about whether they had a deep emotional connection. Instead, his mind was mostly on what they would be doing once they were alone. That heat was all-consuming. Now, Gaurav was in a bit of a bind. Was he in love, or was he in simply lust? The chemistry between them was undeniable, but that wasn't enough to build a lasting relationship, right? Gaurav had to make a choice. Keep letting things move along without asking the hard questions, or slow things down and get clear on whether this was real love or just an intense physical attraction. Gaurav chose the latter. He took a step back, had some honest conversations with Megha, and they realized that while the physical chemistry was amazing, they didn't have the kind of emotional connection that could lead to a meaningful relationship. After taking a break and reflecting on the situation, Gaurav realized that his feelings for Megha were more about lust than love. And even though it was tough, he knew it was better to recognize that before it was too late. Now, I know a lot of you have found yourselves in a similar situation. The question is, how do you tell the difference between love and lust? It's a fine line, and sometimes it's hard to distinguish the two, especially when the physical chemistry is so strong. Let's break it down. Lust is physical. It's intense, exciting, and often overwhelming. You feel drawn to someone because of their appearance, their energy, the way they touch you. It's very much about the body, the physical sensations, and the urge to get closer. Lust is immediate. It doesn't require deep knowledge of the other person. It's about what you feel in the moment. Now, love is different. Love grows over time. It's not just about the physical, it's about emotional and intellectual connection. Love requires trust, vulnerability, and understanding. It's a deep connection that goes beyond the moment. It's about seeing someone for who truly they are, flaws and all, and still choosing to be with them because you want to build a future together. The key difference is that lust fades. It's intense, yes, but it doesn't last. Love, on the other hand, endures and deepens over time. So, how can you recognize when you are really in love and when you are just caught up in the heat of sexual desire? Let's look at a few signs. So let's try to know the red flags you might be in lust, not love. The first one is, you prioritize their looks over their character. When you are truly in love, you see beyond someone's appearance. Sure, physical attraction is still there, but it doesn't define the relationship. Lust is more focused on physical traits and what turns you on in the moment. The second one is, your thoughts are mostly physical. If you're thinking about their body, their looks, and the physical pleasure you feel when you're with them more than you're thinking about who they are as a person, that's a red flag. Lust tends to keep your focus on physical attraction, while love considers emotional intimacy and connection. So basically, you can't stop thinking about the physical connection. If you find yourself daydreaming about how good the sex is or replaying intimate moments in your head, that's a sign the physical aspect is dominating your feelings. Love doesn't focus only on physical attraction, it includes emotional and intellectual bonds. The third one is, you rush things. When lust takes over, everything feels urgent. You are eager to progress the relationship quickly, maybe even skipping over getting to know each other in a meaningful way. Love takes its time. It's about building trust and a deep connection over time. Lust often makes you want to speed things up. You feel like you're falling head over heels and you start to get ahead of yourself. If you're already planning a future together before you have really gotten to know someone, it might be lust masquerading as love. The fourth one is, you avoid deeper conversations. Lust can make us feel like everything is perfect in the moment. But when you are in love, you want to understand each other on a deeper level. Lust can often lead to surface level interactions, flirting, light conversations, and lots of physicality. But love requires vulnerability, honesty, and real communication. When you are in lust, you don't care much about having deep, meaningful conversations about life, values, or future plans. If you're not diving into those deeper aspects of a person's personality, it's likely the connection is surface level. The fifth one is, you're not thinking about the future. When you're in love, you begin to think about building a future together. You talk about your dreams, values, and goals. If you're not discussing your life together beyond the here and now, you're probably not in love. Lust is short term, love is long term. The sixth one is, you care more about the chase than the connection. If you're only excited about the thrill of the chase or the idea of winning someone over, that's a strong indicator that you are focused on lust. True love is about a partnership where both people invest in each other's growth and happiness. So, how do you know when it's actually love and not just the physical or sexual desire? Here are some key signs. The first one is, you care about their well-being. Love is not just about the good moments or the passionate ones. It's about being there for someone when they are struggling, supporting them when they need it, and showing up for them even when it's not convenient. Love isn't selfish. When you're truly in love with someone, you are invested in their happiness, growth, and success, not just the pleasure they bring you. The second one is, you're not just thinking about today. In love, you start thinking about the future. It's not just about what feels good now, but how your values align and how you can grow together over time. The third one is, you enjoy spending time together without the need for constant physical intimacy. In love, you can be with someone and just be. You enjoy their company, their thoughts, their sense of humor. It's not just about what happens in the bedroom. The fourth one is, you accept their flaws and shortcomings. When you are in love, you see the full picture. You don't just focus on their strengths or the way they make you feel when you are close. You accept their flaws and imperfections and still choose to love them. The fifth one is, you share a deeper emotional connection. When you are truly in love, you are talking about more than just your date night plans. You are sharing your fears, your dreams, your vulnerabilities. You trust each other with your emotions. The sixth one is, you don't just see their body, you see them. Love doesn't reduce someone to their physical attributes. When you are truly in love, you care about who they are inside. What makes them tick, what motivates them, what they believe in. Lust doesn't require that level of connection. The seventh one is, you build a life together. Love is about planning a future together, making compromises, and working through challenges as a team. Lust is more about the excitement of the present moment, not necessarily about a long-term commitment. So let's wrap this up, guys. If you're asking yourself whether you're falling for love or just physical or sexual desire, take a moment to reflect. Lust is exciting, yes, but it's not enough to sustain a healthy, meaningful relationship. Love, on the other hand, is about connection, deep, emotional, and sometimes even a little messy. It takes time, effort, and vulnerability. But here is the thing. You can learn how to identify love versus lust and how to approach your dating life in a way that helps you building lasting, meaningful relationships. If you want to dive deeper into this, I've got something that might interest you. I'm hosting a dating right workshop where we will walk through exactly how to navigate these feelings, understand the difference between love and lust, and find the kind of relationship you actually want to build. It's all about being intentional with your dating and knowing how to recognize when you are on the right path. So, if you're serious about transforming your love life and finding a relationship that's based on something real, sign up for the Dating Right workshop today. The link to register is right in the episode description. Thanks for listening, and I will catch you in the next episode of the Love and Dating podcast. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, love is a journey worth taking because remember, you deserve the love. Happy dating, guys!